I want to go on a little bit of a rant. In the past, I've made videos talking about dating apps and talking about how toxic they were, talking about how toxic the people on there were. And in retrospect, I realized how hypocritical it was of me to make those videos because in retrospect, I was toxic. Okay, I was toxic. And because I made those videos and those videos typically got a lot of views and I probably got a lot of subscribers from those videos, I want to go ahead and just open up a different perspective for you guys, open up a different portal for you guys to maybe initiate some of the inner work that you need to be doing. You see, I peep game. Okay, I see which of my videos get the most views. I've been doing YouTube for a couple of years now. I can get views if I want. Okay, but at the same time, I like to post a mix of videos, right? Some videos are more so aimed to cater to a wider audience, but then other videos are more for the people who really want better for themselves. And the videos that I've been posting this month, in the month of June, those videos have largely been for people that really want to elevate themselves. Okay, videos related to healing, related to shadow work, related to inner work. Those videos may not get as many views because those videos aren't necessarily the videos that people want to watch, but they're the videos that people need to watch. Okay, and this video right here is one of those videos that people need to watch. Okay, now I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, okay? Or I guess it's not so much a secret because I already talked about it in another video, but I was on Hinge recently. Okay, I've been on Hinge for probably the past month and a half, 2 months, up until I deleted it around a week and a half ago. And in my time on Hinge, okay, I went on there with supreme confidence. I thought that I was completely untouchable. There's no way that I won't be able to get a date on Hinge. Lo and behold, couldn't get a date. Not only that, I could hardly keep up a conversation with any of these girls. It seemed like I was almost repelling them in a sense. Now, in the past, I would have been extremely bitter and resentful about this because I had the mindset that it was all because of the dating apps, and to an even greater extent, modern women, or maybe just modern people in general. Okay, I thought that maybe the modern dating economy was messed up. And depending on which perspective you look at things from, it may seem that way. But you have to ask yourself, are you excluded from the modern dating economy? Because if you're not, then you're a part of the problem. Okay, you're a part of the problem. Your refusal to take accountability for yourself, your trauma, and your healing journey, which you likely still have not started, that right there is the reason why the modern dating economy is messed up. It's not because of Tinder. It's not because of Bumble. These are apps. Okay, these are neutral places for people to meet new people. It's as simple as that. It's an app. There can't be anything inherently wrong with an app like that. The problem is that people are not taking the time to heal themselves before they get on these apps. They're getting out of relationships, getting cheated on, whatever the case may be, and getting on these apps before they give themselves the time to heal. And hurt people hurt people. Okay, so what you have to understand is that if you're not willing to do the healing, then you're a part of the problem. Dating apps aren't the problem. You are. You are. Okay, and I'm no exception to that either. I realized that a week and a half ago, right before I deleted Hinge. I realized that if I'm running into the same problem over and over and over again, there's a common denominator. I'm very good at pattern recognition. Like I said earlier, I can identify which videos do well on my channel. And in the same way, I can identify how all of my potential relationships are ending. When I see commonalities, I tend to ruminate on them. And that's how I come to conclusions like this one, where I realize that I am indeed the problem. It was never about Tinder. It was never about Bumble or Hinge or any of these apps. It was never about modern women. It was never about the modern dating economy. It was about me. Okay, and that's the mindset that you have to have if you want to find a successful relationship. You have to take accountability. For all of this talk about modern masculinity lacking, that's probably the biggest reason why. It's because men refuse to take accountability. Diverting all of the blame to women, to dating apps, to hypergamy, that's not accountability. Okay, that's fraudulent masculinity. You are fraudulent. Like I said, you need to do the inner healing. You're running from it. You're out here trying to elevate yourself and get all this money and make yourself look better, which that's not to say that you shouldn't do those things, but ultimately, finding a fulfilling relationship comes down to your relationship with yourself. Are you willing to do the inner work? Okay, you guys wouldn't know this because I have so many videos that I'm pretty much a month ahead at this point, but I haven't filmed a video for the entirety of this week. Okay, today is Thursday as I'm filming this. It's been about a week since I filmed a video. And in that time, I've been focused on my writing, putting my next couple of books together. I've been reading a lot. I've been spending a lot of time in nature. But more importantly, I've been spending a lot of time without stimulation. Okay, just sitting in a quiet room with myself. Not by myself, with myself. The difference between being by yourself and being with yourself is that when you're by yourself, it's just you in the room alone. Okay, and oftentimes you're just wallowing in the desire to be with somebody else. But when you're with yourself, you're listening to yourself. You're aware of your thoughts. You're aware of the way that you feel. You're hyper aware of the present moment. And when you make it a habit to do that every single day, which now it's summer, okay, so you have no excuses. This is the best opportunity that you're going to get to do that. When you take the time to be with yourself, it's amazing how much you learn about yourself, the traumas that you might have dealt with, and how they resurface, and how they continuously resurface in your dating life, in your career, or your lack thereof, in your lack of purpose, or anything else in between. Okay, ultimately, when you refuse to illuminate the childhood trauma, it will make itself known. It will make its presence known through your thought patterns, through your feelings, through your beliefs, and through your behavioral patterns. Okay, and a lot of times, all of this occurs at the subconscious level. So you don't even realize that you're pushing all of these potential partners away. You don't realize that you're doing it because you're doing it in very, very subtle ways. Okay, now you have to understand, obviously my channel is mostly men, so I'm mostly speaking to you, but women are highly intuitive creatures. They are highly, highly intuitive, much more intuitive than men typically are. Okay, so bearing that in mind, you have to understand that intuition comes from the subconscious mind. So if you are giving off these subconscious signals to women that you are not ready to be in a relationship, because ultimately, what do women want more than anything else? They want security. They want a sense of security. Please, I wish you would try to argue with me on that, because any argument that you try to make will just prove me right. Okay, if you think that women just want money, you may not be wrong. Some women may want money, but they want money because of the security it provides them. Some of you may think that women just want looks, and you may not be wrong. But at the same time, the reason why they may want that is because of the sense of security that it provides them in terms of the expansion of their genetics, the expansion of their DNA. You have to understand that women are highly, highly intuitive creatures. So when you give off these subconscious signals, women can pick up on them. Okay, they can pick up on them. They can pick up on the smallest details. Okay, and a woman who's in tune with herself, she's going to follow her intuition. The woman who's not in tune with herself, who doesn't love herself, she's going to go for the toxic men. Okay, and when you have a woman who's not in tune with herself, which typically that is a toxic woman, or vice versa for men, when you have two toxic people who get together, you get a toxic relationship. And what ends up happening in toxic relationships? They always end the same way. The two people involved in the relationship end up hurting each other, and then they go on to hurt more people because they refuse to heal. Until one of them decides to do the inner work, the pattern will continue, and thus the modern dating economy and dating apps, by extension, will be ruined. Okay, but ultimately, it comes down to you. Are you willing to be the change that you wish to see in this world? Because like I said, if you want to be a masculine man in this day and age, it's not about the way that you look. It's not about the way that you speak. It's not about any of that. Okay, those are all very trivial surface level things. Masculinity is about your essence. Are you willing to take accountability for your life, including but not limited to your dating life? I'm going to give you guys a great example. Okay, a lot of you guys, you like to use statistics. For whatever reason, you like to bring statistics into dating. Why that is, I have no idea. You can't quantify love. I don't know why people try to do that, but you do it nonetheless. So for all of you who like statistics, okay, if you decide that you want to go into business, or better yet, you decide that you want to be a YouTuber, if you were to look at the statistics of people who start up YouTube channels and end up failing, you would see that the chances of you being a successful YouTuber, and by successful, I mean monetized and able to make a living off of YouTube, you would see that the chances are pretty much slim to none. Okay, but if you go in with that mindset, you've already lost before you begun. And in the same way, if you go into a relationship or a potential relationship with a pessimistic mindset, where you're consciously looking for red flags, then of course you're going to find them. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't be mindful of potential red flags, but you should be optimistic. Okay, they are innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. If you have that mindset where you're just waiting for them to slip up so that you can reinforce your already established belief system about women and about dating apps, you're going to spend the rest of your life alone. You're going to spend the rest of your life alone, and you're just going to keep feeding into this thought pattern. You're going to keep feeding into this belief system. And not only that, but you're probably going to perpetuate it through the YouTube comments section. You're going to find these communities of people who are miserable, who struggle to date, not because they aren't lovable, but because they don't love themselves enough to do the shadow work. They don't love themselves enough to confront their childhood trauma. Now, I understand that that's a very, very difficult process, especially for men. But I have been posting videos about all of this. Okay, I'm here to guide you through that whole entire process. The videos are all there on my channel. It's up to you whether or not you want to watch them. It's up to you whether or not you want to reclaim your masculinity and take accountability for your life. I can't make you do that. I cannot make you do that, and it is not my place to even try. But if you're still watching the video at this point, you want better for yourself.